Okay. Can folks hear me? Okay. I am... Oddly enough, I can see all of your faces when I look at the YouTube stream, but in the actual Jitsi window, I can't see anybody. That's really weird.
There are a couple of different view options. There's the toggle tile view thing. Do you have that button? It looks like 4 squares together.
All right, so I can't hear anyone else.
Including me?
I can see... Oh, I see Stentor, Pearl, and one other person. And then
I see everybody.
Black square.
All kinds of fun technical things at the beginning of this video. Let's see.
For the record, I can see 5 people, including myself, and I seem to be able to hear everyone who has spoken. So we're all connected to some degree.
Okay. Can somebody else say something so I can figure out if I can hear people?
Volume control. Can you hear me okay? I'm speaking now.
Seems like maybe no.
Again. Yeah.
Okay. I am not hearing anything here.
Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's not getting you either.
I don't have the chat thing open, but if someone does, I know I used this 1 or 2 times, and there's like sometimes settings for audio input and output that are set weirdly. So if someone wants to put that in the chat for Stentor if he returns, maybe that will help. Sorry, I'm very tired and I don't know where the chat is.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too. I've never used this before. Although I assume we're going to be using this more soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've done 1 or 2 on this and 1 or 2 on Zoom, I think.
It's not a critical consensus yet as to what we're going to replace Hangouts with.
I just hope the sessions keep getting recorded because I like to review them between so that I remember what happened and can keep the narrative going because I have really bad short-term memory. So I'm hoping we figure it out.
Okay, so now I can hear everybody and see everybody. I had to reload the Jitsi screen for some reason. So that'll be an exciting first few minutes of this video for anybody watching it later.
It says live in the top, so that means we're already broadcasting?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was another... now that I know a little bit better how it works, I should be able to wait on starting until everything's straightened out next time I do this. But I was just trying to get all the pieces together here. So, okay. All right, so deep breath. Now we can start. So first, just a quick check. Is everybody able to access the 3 other links that I sent out? The rules reference, the map, which right now is blank, and the Roll20.
Yes.
Roll20, I have to pull that up still.
Okay. I didn't get those, so not sure if we can do a chat here or on Slack or wherever is handiest.
There's a chat here. Let me. So here's the Roll20. Oh, there you go. Good job, Noah.
Okay. There.
This would ordinarily be said before the broadcast, but there wasn't a before the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just read through the rules for this, and it sounds awesome. Like a really awesome, interesting game. And also, I'm really tired and
Awesome.
am
That's all right.
slightly concerned about following along with exactly what's going on.
That's
So
all
I
right.
apologize if I need some clarification.
So, yeah, that's all right. So the way this is actually going to work, this is a game meant for 4 players. So we've got 4 of you plus me. So I'm actually going to be mostly just facilitating rather than playing. So that should help because I'll be guiding and through and making sure that everybody is following along on the rules and sort of prompting people to do the things that they need to do when they need to do them. Okay, so we can kind of we'll start as if we're starting, and maybe I'll figure out how to download the video and chop this beginning off of it and re-upload it or something. But so welcome everyone to the Companion's Tale, Companions of the Cat. So this is game is The Companion's Tale by Laura Simpson. I'm playing it with a slight twist that the great hero whose story we are telling in this game is a cat. So the way the game is set up, this is a game about differing interpretations of history. So we're going to be telling the story of this great hero who saved our realm from the point of view of various companions that were with the hero in their various journeys. And we're going to be kind of adding this all to this shared map that we're making of our world. But unlike a lot of other games where we kind of yes and somebody puts something in and that becomes like a fact about the world that everybody else has to agree with, in this game you're encouraged to have different interpretations of what's going on and kind of conflicting versions of history and so forth. So there will be a lot of times when somebody will add something to the game and you may not agree with that or think that's how it really happened, and then you can put in your own interpretation. So that's kind of what it's about here. So the structure of the game, which is at the top of the rules reference that I sent you, we start with a prologue where we kind of establish some of the framework of what our world is and what's going on. Then we have 3 acts, and then we have an epilogue at the end. Within each of the 3 acts, we have a historian phase where we talk a bit about the broader picture of what's happening in the world. Then we have 4 story rounds where we actually hear the stories as told by the companions. And in each of these story rounds, you'll be playing one of 4 different roles: the cartographer, the companion, the witness, or the lore keeper. And then we rotate those roles. So basically a set of story rounds consists of each person getting to play each of those 4 roles. And then you wrap up the act with the biographer phase, where we kind of cast some doubt on the way that some of the companions told their stories. So we do 3 acts like that. So you'll get 3 different chances to be a companion of our hero and kind of tell some of the story of what happened. And as I said, as we're going through, we're going to be adding lots of stuff to our map, which is just a Google drawing sheet here. So don't worry about artistic ability. You can just sketch things in however you want. If you want to grab some like clip art and paste it on, that's cool too. Or use the drawing and text tools that are there. So I want to quickly also mention our safety tools here. So I'm going to put at the end of the rules reference a section of lines and veils. So if there's particular content that you just don't want us to deal with in the game, then you can add that. And let me switch this sharing so that you can all edit. There we go. Okay, so you should now be able to edit. You might need to reload the page. You should be able to edit the rules document. And you'll see down at the bottom, there's the lines and veils there. So if you have any particular things that you would like to put as a line, which we're just not going to bring that up in the story at all, or a veil, which is something that can kind of be part of the story, but we're not going to really have it kind of on screen or a focus element. You can jot them down in there, and I'll let you do that while I finish explaining some things, and then just before we get started, we'll review what anybody's put in there. We also have the X card, and since none of the tools are used in X card thing, if you want to use the X card, you can just say X card, or can I X card that, or something like that. And so that just means if something comes up that you don't want in the story that's going to make it no fun for you, we can just edit that right out and choose a different direction for things to go. Okay, so the kind of mechanics of how we're doing this online, we've got, I've talked about, we've got our map that we're doing through the Google Drawings there that you can, you should all have editing access to that. Then most of the rest of the mechanics are driven by a set of cards. So that's where the Roll20 interface comes in. Hopefully this isn't too many different screens to keep track of. So you'll see on the Roll20 we've got 4 decks of cards. There's the companion deck, which has prompts for the types of companions that our hero may have had. So that include things like the hero's mentor, the hero's rival, the hero's protege, etc. Then you've got the theme deck, which is sort of prompts for kinds of things that will be happening in our story. Then you've got 2 decks that are for faces. And unfortunately, when I made the little card back there, I didn't realize the shuffle button was going to cover the key terms on there. So the top one of those is the human faces. So this is what actually comes with the game. All of these are things, I just scanned them from my physical copy of the game. So some of the cards will look a little bit wonky. If you ever have trouble reading any of them, just let me know and I can find the actual card in my physical copy of the game and make sure that we can read it if any of them scan funny. But anyways, the faces are from the actual game. They're depictions of people, and so you'll pick one of those as a prompt for who your companion is. But I've added a second faces deck, which you'll see is called cat faces, because since our hero is a cat, some of the hero's companions might also be cats. So whenever you have to draw from the deck of the faces, you could draw either a human face or a cat face as the mood strikes you. It'd be kind of cool to have a mix of human and cat companions, but there's no rule about that because this is something I made up to add to the game because we're playing a game about a cat. So that's kind of the gist of how, so when you have to draw stuff, you'll just draw from those decks in Roll20. And when you have to like lay stuff down, you can lay them down onto the Roll20 desktop area there. So are there any questions about all of that? This is the first time I've run this online, so we may have a few hiccups in the first round or two.
My biggest concern is the drawing thing. I have no idea how it works. Is it relatively easy to figure out?
It should be pretty easy, yeah. So if you look at the top there, you'll see there's the line button where if you click on that, you just click and it'll make a line, and you can grab I just made one there, and you can grab the ends of it and move them around. The next button gives you some shapes. So if you click on that, then it'll pop up a little menu of different sorts of shapes. And again, once you pick one, so like I'll put in a rectangle, and you just put it in there, and then you can grab little handles to rearrange it. The one with the T in it gives you a text box if you want to write stuff. And then the image one allows you can, if you've got a piece of clip art or something, you could upload it. I think you can also just copy paste stuff directly onto there if you like copy an image from somewhere. So if you need to add in like, I want to put a house here and you don't want to go through the trouble of drawing it, you could just find a clip art of a suitable house and paste it in there. Make the drawing part easier. Okay, and somebody's asking in the chat about weird sounds. Tell me if the weird sounds cut out.
It was like
Because I have a really
it's
loud
only been like
supplementary
twice
fan
total.
on my... Okay.
It was like a whoosh sound that happened.
Oh,
like
I think
okay.
that's the sound of the text. Like when someone sends a message, it makes that sound.
Oh,
Okay.
Here, I'll send a message.
I was worried. Okay.
that one.
Yep, that's when someone uses the chat.
Ah, that's
I don't
okay.
hear sound from that.
Yeah, I just
Interesting.
figured it out a moment ago myself.
Okay. Cool.
I was alarmed. I thought there was.
All right. Any other
Oh,
questions?
For drawing purposes, are we going to use text? Because I've never played this while using text.
How do you mean using text?
Like a moment ago
putting
when you were
textual
going over the
labels
stuff you could do.
on the map?
Yeah, like letters and words and stuff. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
We can do it if you want.
I've always played that it's there. Yeah, I feel because drawing in the Google document is going to be a little more awkward,
Yeah, that's fair.
that it might be helpful just to let people label things so that we know what they are, because it might be harder to like draw a recognizable thing with the online drawing tools. So it'd be good to sometimes just slap a box in and label it. Might be easier than trying to
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so let me quickly review the lines and veils that we've got written down, and we can add to this at any time, although if you're adding to it, you might want to call our attention to it just so that we know something's been added later. But we've got lines, so things we're not going to include at all: suffering or death of parental figures, using parents and children as leverage against each other, sexual violence, and zoophilia, sex between humans and animals. And then we've got a veil on acute or intense grieving. So those are our lines and veils. And so keep those in mind, scroll down occasionally to double check them. But okay. So the turn order is usually it's based on going around the table. I'm just going to say that we'll go in order that you appear in the Roll20 list. And so hopefully that's the same for everybody, but if not, the order we've got Pearl, Noella, Kirk, and I'm sorry, is your name Donna? How do we say that? I think you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I've got the icon on the bottom right.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't be muted the whole game. That would be sad.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. I don't know.
Give him a moment to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's unmuted.
In that second. Oh.
Okay. Sorry, I think the Roll20 and the Jitsi are really not cooperating on my browser. Even that was the time delay. There was me switching tabs in the browser, so I'm not sure. The two documents are still not opening. Maybe it's because I started with Jitsi and then opened the other ones. So, yeah, I don't want to be a drag on the game, so I might drop out because this looks like it's going to be unworkable for me.
It's a lot of different mechanics.
multitask with Jitsi. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to do a test drive as well because I'm running a game with it for the first time tomorrow. So
Okay.
yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. That's all right.
Oh,
We're
no, it's okay. We're
sad
all
to see you
figuring
go,
this
but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
this is learning
Can we just-
experience with these new
We
technologies.
could like do a different drawing thing maybe, and then it wouldn't take up so much bandwidth. I just hate to use a player.
Yeah,
over
I think it might
the
be
drawing.
yeah, maybe. I mean, I've closed both of those windows now, and it's, I won't say still as bad, but even like switching tabs between Roll20 and Jitsi is taking like 5 or 6 seconds to do. So
Oh,
yeah, even getting to the mute button is a problem. So yeah, I will take my leave of you, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I hope you all have a good game.
Okay. Well, we're sad to see you go, and hopefully
Yeah.
things
Good
get
luck on your
figured
game
out, and we
tomorrow.
can game with you again sometime soon.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just waiting for the buttons to come back up on Jitsi now so I can do anything. Okay.
Okay. All right. So if he is dropping, then I'll just sit in. So then that makes the turn. That actually puts me number 1 in turn order. So me, then Pearl, then Noella, and then Kirk. Is that good for everyone? Turn order.
That's fine. Just so you know, at least on my
Okay.
end, you're roboting here and
Yeah,
there.
for me too.
Am I?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I may just be needing to ask for some repetition occasionally if it continues. It has not been a good week for the internet, I feel.
Okay. Yeah, just if I robot touch and you can't hear me, yeah, just feel free to ask for me to repeat stuff. Okay. And I'm trying to close some other
Kirk and I are
tabs too,
twinsies.
just to,
Oh no, saying that he has connectivity issues for me now.
interference because we've got so much technical issues going on here.
Yeah, we missed what you just said, other than technical issues.
Oh. See, right there, it like demonstrates my point.
Yes.
Despite the fact that you can actually hear
Yeah, we
what I
understand.
had to say. Okay. Let's see.
It just keeps being rough.
Okay. So I think that we are ready to begin the game itself. So we begin with the Prologue Phase, and I'll read some of the text out of the rulebook here. In the Prologue, players will build the world by answering questions about it. The starting person is a volunteer. On your turn, answer the first Prologue question aloud as if you were an inhabitant of this world. Then draw on the map representing the answer, leaving space for additions and change during play. Continue clockwise to the next player, working your way down the question list. After you've answered the 4 questions, the prologue ends and Act 1 begins. So the first prologue question, and so anybody that wants to volunteer an answer to this will just be the first person to go. What is the most prominent physical feature of our land, and what virtue does it metaphorically represent? So what is the most prominent physical feature of our land, and what virtue does it metaphorically represent?
I think it's quite obviously the majestic rolling tumbleweeds of catnip.
Okay.
And they symbolize how we are all free to enjoy all that life can bring us because the joy of catnip just rolls on by.
Okay.
All you have to do
So
is
go
grab
ahead and All right. So go ahead and draw some tumbleweed in on our map. If you just want to put it in little circles or something, that's probably
Yeah, there isn't
good.
like
And we'll note that
like
as
an
our
actual
tumbleweed.
pen, right? Like a pen tool. It's like either a line or
No,
I can do a curve, a
I don't
scribble.
think.
I'll do a scribble.
Oh yeah, the scribble is there.
Come on, mine. Show up, Radra. So those are two catnip tumbleweeds that are rolling. Little lines behind them are showing the motion that they're rolling. If that's showing up for everyone.
All right. Yes.
Did I
Excellent.
write catnip, or do we all know what they are?
I think those are distinctive enough tumbleweeds. Remember what they are. Okay. So Earl answered the first question. So then it's over to Noella for the next question. So for the rest of these, there's actually a choice of 2 questions, and you can pick which one you want to answer. So Noella, question 1. Our spiritual beliefs promise prosperity. What must we do to become prosperous, and what is taboo? Or question 2, what do parents warn our children about at bedtime, and what celebration is tied to that fear? So question 1, our spiritual beliefs promise prosperity. What must we do to become prosperous, and what is taboo? Or question 2, what do parents warn our children about at bedtime, and what celebration is tied to that fear?
So, what parents warn their children about at bedtime are the ghost lions, and these are kind of like creatures that more like a mountain lion than a savanna lion. They kind of roam the world hungry and like unable to like move on to the next life. And basically it's warned that like if you're out after dark or you're out in the woods after dark, the ghost lions will get you. And I think the celebration that's tied to this is it's like I'm not sure what a good name is, but it's like a seasonal like sacrifice of like meat. Like you leave, like every family like leaves like a prey carcass on their doorstep for the ghost lions to eat, to like protect their home from, kind of like from it's kind of like sacrificing the lamb and painting on your doorway with the blood from the Old Testament to protect from the plagues. But it's like you put the carcass on your doorstep, and it's so the ghost lion will eat that and not your kids. But it's also like
every year, not just like the one time, like in the Old Testament.
No, it's like a seasonal thing. I think it marks like passage into a new season.
Cool.
Kirk?
So yeah, so add line snap there.
Stentor, are you on purpose not on camera anymore?
I still see
Sorry,
him.
Oh, well, you're back now.
What am I supposed to
both
put
of
on
you
the map?
winked out.
Okay.
Ghost lions.
Okay.
So mark the ghost lions in some way on the map, like wherever the ghost lions live, add them to our map. Okay, so loving that. Then around to Kirk for our next question. So again, you get 2 options to pick from. Question 1, death and taxes are the only constants in life. Who do we pay this to? Or 2, name one group that is traditionally in our society. Name another who has supplanted them recently. So option 1, death and taxes are the only constants in life. Who do we pay tax to? Option 2, name one group that is traditionally wealthy in our society. Name another who has supplanted them recently.
So how do you guys feel about going hardcore anthropomorphic animals for this?
I mean, I was all for some sort of like overthrow of the ghost lions by the like zombie giraffes or something. So you're not going to get any arguments from me. But
Okay. The badgers used to be
my little hush.
the badgers used to be the aristocracy, and they've been overthrown by the otters.
Okay.
Nobody saw that coming, I
Some
bet.
badgers and otters on our map then.
Oh, can we zoom on this? Is there like a... Oh, there's zoom controls. All right, got it. Cool. Then how do you scroll? I'm sorry, this is my first time using this.
Also, just to clarify,
you're
sorry.
adding... Yeah. Oh, no problem.
I was
No problem.
thinking of the ghost lions as like a supernatural creature.
Yeah, they're definitely supernatural. They're ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Just clarifying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what would be a good representation for like a badger temple. All right, badger temple.
It has like vats of honey for the fiercest of the badgers, the honey badgers.
You grab some there and paste it in there if you want.
Drawing.
I was glad I picked tumbleweed, which is just a squiggle. I was like, nailed it. In terms of making it easy for myself, I mean.
Okay. So while you are doing that, so the all right, so my 2 options for questions. Hang on, no problem. So I think that may be why I keep hearing I keep having some problems. Okay, so quick technical question. Did I just disappear a second? Because I got a message on my screen that said network problem reconnecting.
So
getting it again.
So after you said a quick technical question, I couldn't hear anything you said for about 8 seconds.
Yeah. I just adjusted my video quality in the menu from HD to SD.
Oh,
I'm wondering if that'll make a difference.
So I was in the process of asking because okay, what did you do?
I went into the menu with the like 3 dots.
Video quality.
Yeah. I'm hoping that like if we collectively reduce bandwidth somehow that will help.
Let me see if I can do that.
I just put it on SD.
Yeah, let me try that.
Low, but...
Yeah, just cut mine too.
Yeah. I'm going down to okay. We'll see if this helps. People are only going to be watching it on a little YouTube thing. They need to see all the details of the face. Okay, so let's see if this helps out with my disappearing here. Okay, so I have 2 questions that I get to answer of. Number 1, what is the price of magic? Who usually wields it? Number 2, new technology found in everyone, what members of society have fixed. So I think I'm going to go with the new technology. And I'm going to say that new technology is an automated laser pointer, and it has displaced the people that would normally care for cats by wielding a laser pointer themselves and throwing things for the cat and so forth, because we now have robots essentially to do that for us. So we have a number of unemployed in our land.
I'm only hearing about 2/3 of what you're saying, and it looks like Noella wanted to say something.
I was just gonna say I'm also having trouble hearing you.
Lots of robotness.
Yeah, I got another one on that problem. So yeah, so I guess more quality wasn't helping on it. Yeah, this is, if it keeps doing this is going to make it really hard to keep playing. What other? Trying to think what other things.
Are you like downloading something? Because I actually can see everyone's connection things, and the three of us are green and you're red. So it seems to be specifically your connection. Oh no, you just turned green. Maybe you're good now.
He's totally off camera.
Yeah,
for me.
mine keeps coming and going. I'm not doing anything else in the background. Like literally, the tab I have open are the ones for this game. My YouTube channel that I'm live streaming this to, and my Gmail.
It just seems like it's off to such a promising start, with our amazing badgers and otters and catnip tumbleweeds and ghost lions and everything. And I want us to be able to play.
Windows open, but not any other things. Okay. I'm trying to think what else, because I went all the way down to low definition on the video. I'm trying to think what else would, unless we're just are there other games on now, or are we just too hard? I think she could stream holes.
Yeah, I got nothing to that.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting connectivity issues from him.
What else?
As much as I hate to suggest it, because
so is anybody else having that, or is that just me?
Just you so far for me.
Is anyone else getting the connectivity thing, or is it just me?
I'm not getting connectivity issues for other people, but every now and then. Yeah, full chat now, right?
Yeah, it's been going back and forth from green to red for a bit. I'm wondering, as much as I like facial expressions, if you turn your video off and go just audio only, if that will help. And then if the connection stabilizes, we could try again. So many whooshing sounds.
Okay, so I have gone audio only to try to see if that works. So, all right, so let me attempt to go through my answer to my prologue question and see if I'm able to get all the way through that with audio only. And if that's the case, then that's how we'll proceed. And I guess I'll just be a voice only on games running over Jitsi or something Going forward. Okay. So I chose the question, what new technology can be found in every home and what members of society has it displaced? And I said that the new technology is automated, like laser pointer and cat toy throwing kind of system. And so all the people who used to spend most of their time wielding laser pointers and throwing things for cats have now been displaced, and they are unemployed, kind of wandering the land with laser pointers. And I think I got through all that without a connectivity issue. So hopefully, cross our fingers, I have solved this by just ditching the video for now. So, okay, so we can now proceed. So let me add my laser pointer people to our map real quickly here. And let's pick a different image because that came out really weird. Let's see. Just 1 second to get. Good thing. So while I'm doing this, okay, so we've done the prologue. We're now going into Act 1. And so the rulebook has some guiding principles for our play here. So number 1, name places, not people. Refer to the hero, companions, and people by their archetype or title, but name places evocatively. Principle number 2, truth is relative. Events are interpreted through the lens of the teller. Each one of you is a person with biases, point of reference, and prejudices, making all of you an unreliable narrator. And principle number 3, disagree by making up your own facts. Avoid trying to reach for consensus. Use your role to show your different point of view. So that's kind of our principles that we're going to be working on as we go through here. Okay, so Act 1 is referred to as the hero's genesis. All heroes start somewhere. What is this hero's origins? You're introducing the hero. Now is a chance to establish existing institutions and cultural norms of the society that sparks the need for a hero. So we begin each act with the historian phase. The historian phase plants thematic events and situations into the world at the beginning of an act. So let me, sorry, I'm still in the middle of getting this laser pointer.
I was going to say, yeah.
Thanks. So there we go. Okay, so now we got the laser pointer people roaming our world here. I put them over near the badgers and the otters. Okay. So in the rules reference there, I've got the description of what we do during the historian phase. So begin by drawing one theme card that is shared by all players. So theme card, I'll deal one card to me and put it out there. So our first card, where did it go? There we go. Okay, so our theme for our first thing is corruption. Once a powerful leader was swayed into betraying principles, or once a great blight afflicted the land. So that's our theme card. Each player takes a turn describing a historical event based off the theme card. Each player draws an interpretation of their description on the map as they take their turn. So choose a part of the map and briefly describe events happening there, then draw a simple representation of the event on the map. Choose different areas of the map from other historians. Go somewhere where the hero or companions are not present. Going strictly in order is not necessary. Go as an idea comes to you. So we each get to add one thing to the map, one event, one thing that's happening in our realm inspired by this idea of corruption. and we can just go in any order. So just jump in if you've got an idea. So I actually have an idea, which is that we've got this this overthrow that happened. The otters overthrew the badgers, and I want to propose that they did that because they had to deal with the laser pointer people. That they offered the laser pointer people a chance to do something with their lives now that they had been displaced from their previous role, and so they teamed up with the otters, and that's why the otters overthrew the badgers, is because they made this alliance with the laser pointer people. So I will add that to our map, and so then other folks want to add some corruption.
I can go.
So there's a handshake between the otters and the laser pointers now to represent the deal. Okay, so Noella, what did you want to add in here?
So, in an attempt to get rid of the ghost lions during one of the like sacrifice days, people put out like poisoned meat, but instead of getting rid of them, it just created like well, not rabid in the scientific sense, but like rabid and corrupted ghost lions that were even more like dangerous and aggressive.
Okay.
So it kind of became like a much greater danger.
Okay. So go ahead and add that to the map, and then Pearl or Kirk, if you've got
Yeah,
an
I've got
idea
one.
for something to add. Okay.
I'm going to go with a blight that affects the land, and go a bit literal with the corruption. I'm going to say the area, the sentiment of the area, with a D, not a T, is eroding, and the landscape is becoming more aquatic because of an expanding river.
Okay.
So here's going to be our river.
And Pearl, add some corruption for us.
Was I muted that whole time?
Yes.
Oh, for
I heard
Pete's
nothing.
sake.
I thought you were just still thinking.
No, I don't usually when buttons are lit up, that means they're active, and it's the opposite on Jitsi.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking at my icon, and it looked like I wasn't muted. I had asked if Kirk could repeat a little bit about the river for me really fast, because I lost a smidge of it while being obsessed with the adorable map.
Yeah, sure. The idea is that the sediment of the land is starting to erode away from the river, so the river is expanding. Hence, it is a corruption of the land.
Awesome.
And the cats are not a big fan of more water.
No, they aren't. Okay.
Mhm.
And I think that both the otters and the badgers are not great fans of the cats, but especially right now, the badgers are just feeling like they are not digging. The otter take over, the river's expanding. That's like the otter's thing. You know what I mean? So the badgers are putting something weird into the river that makes people / otters and cats hallucinate. And so the otters are sometimes having weird health issues. And then any catnip that has absorbed the water from the river also is somewhat susceptible to this like unpleasant hallucinogenic substance. The badgers will have their revenge.
Okay. Okay, so that is our historian phase. So now we go into the story rounds, which are kind of the core part of the game. So in each story round, each player will take a turn as one of the roles: the cartographer, companion, witness, and lore keeper. At the end of the round, we rotate those roles. So we'll each get to do each of those roles once across the 4 story rounds within the act. So if we stick with the order that were listed in the Roll20, so I would be first. So I would be the cartographer for the first story round. So the instructions are: begin the round by looking over the map and briefly narrating the recent events from the last round. Make adjustments to the map as you see fit. Then listen throughout the other players' turns and draw on the map to reflect your interpretation. So basically my job is I start by checking out the map, kind of reminding people of what's going on. So we've got the otters teaming up with the laser pointer people to overthrow the badgers. Badgers then poisoning the river that is expanding and threatening the cats. Meanwhile, we have these corrupted, much more intense ghost lions going on here. And we've still got some catnip tumbleweeds roaming across our land as well. So then as we proceed, I'll be the one as the cartographer to add to the map for anything else that comes up. So as we play through the other phases, the cartographer gets to add their interpretation of that stuff to the map. But if you don't like how I put it, once you get to be cartographer next, you can always change it or adjust it. So then the next role, which would be Pearl, is the companion. So you are going to get 2 theme cards. So you can draw 2 off of the theme deck. You're going to pick one that's going to define your story and discard the other one.
I have a quick mechanical question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, are we describing the heroic adventures of a specific cat that we should be at some point bringing up? Or just we're telling a story of this fantastical kingdom? I'm good either way.
Yeah, so we're telling stories about the adventures of a particular hero. Right now, all we know about that hero is that hero is a cat. So it will be through the stories that we tell about the cat that we define the cat's, background and characteristics and deeds and so forth. So we don't establish anything at the beginning about the nature of the hero. That all comes out through the stories that the companions tell. Does that make sense?
Yes. I wanted to know whether I should be aiming at eventually there would be a cat hero, or if we were just going with badgers at this point, or
no. There will be a cat hero, because you as the companion in the story round are telling us your job is to tell a story about this hero from the point of view of the companion that you'll be playing the role of. So your job is to be, you are someone who was a companion of the cat during the cat's adventures, and you'll be telling us something about that from your point of view. So you're going to draw 2 theme cards and pick one and discard the other.
Okay.
Get rid of that corruption card.
I need to
Then-
add the poisoning of the river at some point. Kirk just reminded me.
Yes.
But so you said draw 2 theme cards.
Draw 2 theme cards. Choose one, discard the other. Then you're going to draw 4 companion cards, and you're going to choose one of those. Keep the other 3. So you should have like a hand of companion cards that you can choose out of.
Okay, I need to make my screen a little bigger here so I can read them. Sorry.
Yeah. And then you'll also draw one face card, either from the human faces or the cat faces, depending on whether you want to be a human companion or a cat companion.
And the companion is someone who travels with the hero?
Yeah, who travels with the hero or worked with the hero in some way. Somebody that was part of the hero's story in some way.
Okay.
So they may be someone who was only with the hero for a short period of time.
Sure. Okay. So I can't read the text on the cards. They're just maybe if I zoom in enough.
Yeah,
if you click
on it, you should get little handles that you can use to make it bigger. And when you do that, it should
it is
clarify the text.
Doing that for me for whatever reason.
Let me see. Maybe let me do it. I can do it. Maybe it's just because I'm the
that did not
owner
work for me.
of this.
So wrath once a judge's wrath exceeded the slight, and then the other one, once an overlooked problem became a great threat, or what just happened? Or a false threat obscured a greater one. Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna pick one of those as the theme of your story.
I think I'm going to pick the threat.
Okay.
So I can discard the wrath somehow.
Yep. So get rid of the.
I don't know how to do that. How do I?
Okay. Maybe I should just kind of do some of the card management.
Okay.
That might make it easier.
Certainly in my case, that's a great plan.
Okay. So then I'm going to deal you 4 companion cards. So you should now have 4 companion cards. So you can pick one of those that tells the kind of nature or role of yourself as a companion. And then would you like to be a human companion or a cat companion? I'll deal you your...
I'm able to click on these and look at them more closely, so I can look at them and then I'll decide. Just taking a quick thing. So I think I'm gonna take the protege card for my companion, and I think I'm going to be a young cat who looks up greatly to our hero.
Okay. And so there is your face there from the cat deck.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So now you're going to tell us a little story about your interactions with the hero.
Yes.
Some episode of something that happened between you and the hero. Tell the story from a first-person point of view. I, as the cartographer, will add something about it to our map. And then when you are done, we will pass on to the next roll here.
Okay. If you would also like to add my spiking the river while you're drawing on the map, you're welcome to. But yeah, obviously it has to be first. Look how scared. This is obviously a very harrowing encounter I've had. So this is my favorite old English greeting at the beginning of a story. What? My friends, I must tell you of the harrowing adventure I just had. I was... Everything okay, everyone? Is someone getting, like, sawed in half?
That might be the fan on my computer. I have a really loud computer fan.
So, yes. As you all know, I am a protege of Sir Caddington III, great hero of our land. And
no names.
no names?
Yeah, so the hero is just the hero, and you are just the protege.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get my train of thought back. Hold on a second. I was following the hero, as I often do, to look for adventure and wrongdoing to be righted. And we came across a most heinous sight indeed. I would say that it didn't only raise my hackles, but all my fur stood on end, and my eyes practically bulged out of their sockets, in shock and horror when I saw that the otters were not only meeting with the laser pointer people, but I swear in the corner of my eye there was a ghost lion. And before I knew it, the hero had run off to address whatever needed addressing, and I must admit shamefacedly that I ran back to hide in my cardboard box because it was just too much for me. But luckily, the hero, I am sure, is handling or has already handled that ghost lion. But I don't think it's good if the laser pointer people and the ghost lions are working together. I'm very concerned. Only our hero can save us now, I suspect.
Okay. So I've located your cardboard box there by the river.
Thank you. I do live in a cardboard box down by the river.
Okay. Okay, so that's the protege's story. So the next role, which will be played by Noella in this round. Oh, and incidentally, we'll keep that face there. I'll just sort of stack them above your name in the Roll20 because in the first two acts you create a new companion, but then in the third act you return to one of your old companions and do another story about that companion. So we'll keep the faces to remind us of your companions from the first two acts. Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
I adore my box. Please leave that there. And I adore also the little river tainting things. But might we want to put some sort of ghost lion with the laser pointer people? Since that is the intrigue I'm trying to draw attention to.
Well, so that's always the cartographer's decision of what to put and how to put it. When you are cartographer, if you want to adjust and add things and change how things are represented, then you get to do that.
Don't say that to me. That's dangerous.
That's sort of part of the point of the game, is that each person can, decide for themselves how to represent things, what should be included, what shouldn't, and then other people can change that and challenge that. Yeah, so if you don't like what I'm putting on the map, you can change it when you get to be cartographer.
Oh, it's not a matter of like or dislike. I was just unclear on how exactly it worked. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, so next role for Noella is Witness. So as the Witness, look to a part of the map where the hero and the last companion are not. Take some previous event, perhaps from the historian round, and describe how it goes forward. You don't need to tell a whole story, just share some facts. So pick something else that's on our map here and flesh it out a little more, add some new facts, push the events forward a little bit.
Okay. Say, my good friends, the story goes that after the badgers were ousted by the otters, that they poisoned the river in retaliation. But this is not so. This is a bold-faced lie meant to make the badgers look bad. In fact, it was the otters who poisoned the river so that they could blame it on the badgers to make them look bad, and so that they could control the water supply because they have access to the underground wells. So do not believe what the otters tell you. We badgers are honest and earnest folk who were unjustly ripped from our homes and our good names sullied.
Okay. Sounds good. So controversy over who poisoned the river. And so then our last roll of this story round is the lore keeper. So Kirk, your job, briefly describe a piece of lore that reflects some of the culture of the realm. Some examples: song, poetry, mural, fable, theater, slang, myth, cultural movements, games, sports. So some element of the realm's culture that developed out of the things that we've recently been coming up with.
Great. Okay. So every spring, when the catnip tumbleweed starts to roll in during the spring season, the cats have a parade where they dance on their hind legs after they get high. So it starts at the tumbleweeds in the northwest, and then it continues down all the way down the riverbank as they have like a period of jubilation.
Okay.
And the parade just keeps getting bigger as the river keeps getting bigger.
Sounds good. All right. So I will add that on here. Okay, so that's one story round. I'm wondering if folks would like to take a quick bio break, because we're only a little way into the game itself, but we had so much technical difficulty at the beginning. So why don't we take? Is 5 minutes good?
Sure.
So I've got 23 after the hour. So if we're back at 28, does that sound good?
Sure.
Yep, sounds good.
Is my
That's fine.
sharing the screen thing helpful? Someone had mentioned, could we share the screen? So I put the drawing in my window, but is that showing up for
Okay.
everyone? Is that useful?
Yeah, it's showing up, but
It
I'm
is
just
for
looking at
me.
the tab anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. So it's not showing up for me in Jitsi because I've got video turned off. So I didn't
Okay.
realize you were doing that, but I can actually see it in the live stream, and that's actually awesome. I think that's perfect.
For the
Because
viewers.
for anybody watching this, they're going to be more interested in seeing the map than seeing us talk. So
Yeah, I figured
awesome.
everybody loves the letter P, but
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. All right. So 5 minute break, and I'll see you back in just a minute. think there'd be a setting to turn off that sound or turn it on because I can't hear it. So, Kirk, are you back yet?
Yep, I'm back.
Ah, okay. Cool. So we can then get started. So we did one story round of Act 1, so now we're on to the second story round. So the cartographer role passes to the person who's companion. So Pearl, you will be our cartographer for this round. So again, the instructions
Oh no. Okay.
begin the round by looking over the map and briefly narrating the recent events from the last round. Make adjustments to the map as you see fit.
All right. Well, we heard from the hero's companion that there was some trouble beyond what we had heard previously about the laser pointer people and their connection with the otters, that they were also teaming up with the ghost lions. But that has been refuted by someone with what I would say are questionable ties to the badgers. Anybody who doesn't believe our hero, to me, is a little bit suspect. So I think, we really need to investigate this otter laser pointer ghost lion situation before, all of the cats and badgers are high off their minds and nope, become smaller, please. And it's too late.
Okay. So then our companion this time around will be Noella. So you get four companion cards to choose from. And 2 theme cards. So you'll pick one theme, one companion, and then let me know if you want a human or a cat face.
Okay. I am going to be the nemesis.
Okay. Would you like to be a human nemesis or a cat nemesis?
A cat nemesis, and then I'll do captivity.
Okay. So there you are, the cat nemesis. So yeah, so tell us your story about the hero. And then Pearl will add to the map appropriately.
Oh, young kitten, I am glad you have come to talk to me as I am here imprisoned in this lonely tower. You see, it was in fact the hero who was responsible for my imprisonment here. You see, I was once known as the tiger of the high seas. I was the only feline pirate throughout the land. Yet it was my nemesis, the hero, who brought about my downfall. You see, I never dreamed another cat would brave the ocean and take to the water. So I believed myself safe. I had long since mastered fighting and escaping from my human my human pursuers, and I pillaged and sailed. But one day, as I sat on my ship outside of the Leopard Harbor, the hero leapt onto my ship and challenged me. And I was out of practice on my on the feline martial arts. The moves, I could not dart through their legs as I could a human's. And the hero soon toppled me, and I was able to be captured. And to this day, I despise that cat. They took away my freedom. I had found freedom within the bounds of this society, but now I am here in a box. And yes, I can sit in it, but it is not comfortable.
Okay, that's great. So next we've got Kirk as the witness. So look to a part of the map where the hero and last companion are not. Take some previous event and describe how it goes forward. You don't need to tell a whole story, just share some facts.
Oh, I had to unmute. There we go. So I was going to give my yearly sacrifice at the Ghostland Graveyard, and I was a little on the late side. I had a lot of stuff to do this week. It's a miracle I got here at all. And you know how people have been saying like a lot of the crops aren't really the same. Well, the meat that we've been sacrificing, I think, isn't the same too, because I really just cut it under the wire, and as I was leaving, the ghost lions were just starting to come out and eat the meat, and it seemed like they were getting playful and fun, like the meat was affecting them differently. They're supposed to be like a gaunt figure or something that we're distracting with the meat and not something that we're supposed to have fun with, but the ghost lions seemed like they were having a really good time, and maybe this tainted meat isn't really all that bad.
Okay. And then I am the lore keeper. Briefly describe a piece of lore that reflects some of the culture of the realm. I love that picture of the tiger of the high seas. Yeah, so I think we've been hearing a lot about boxes lately, and so I think boxes are very important in the realm, and I think that that it has become customary to paint on your box. If you have your favorite box that you hide in, you paint something on it that represents what you aspire to, some virtue that you wish to exhibit, or some sort of good fortune that you want to bring about. And so when the Tiger of the High Seas was put in the box in the tower, they painted over all of the ferocious tigers that were on the side of their box. And that was sort of the ultimate humiliation for defeated sea captain, is to not have anything painted on their box. But everyone else's box, if you look at it, will have something painted on it. I've heard the Protege's box has a picture of the hero painted on it. So that is my lore for this round.
You're all going too fast for me.
It's okay.
I'm working with the document as fast as I can.
It's all right. So that's 2 story rounds. So Pearl, just let us know when you've completed adding what you're adding from this round, because then the cartographer role will pass to Noella.
I'm always muted. That's driving me bananas. I was saying we don't have a picture of the hero at this moment, do we?
Nope.
Okay.
The hero is always kind of a bit of a cipher.
Okay. I was gonna try to put.
Yeah, I suppose you could put a picture that you feel represents the hero, but it wouldn't be like canon.
Right.
You know, other people could depict the hero in other ways.
Okay. I am almost done. I just have one last thing I'd like to do. I just, like I said, getting used to using the thing.
Yep.
But I did not do what I thought it would do. Just become a smiley. Rotate. I'm trying to make the high cat smile. There we go. Okay. Almost got it. I think I'm figuring it out. And then just nope. Come with me. Come with me. Anyone know how to make that thicker? By any chance?
I have no idea.
I don't know how to
I'm
use
not
these very well. Oh, good job, whoever just did that. Oh, it looked pink for a second. I got excited in addition to being thicker.
Do you want it to be pink?
I mean, I'm just trying to give him a big smiley face, basically. So if you want to put a big smile of any sort, that was the best I could think of for the ghost lion who's having a good time.
There we go. Okay. All right. So this is good handoff into Noella being the cartographer. So you get a chance to look over the map, make any adjustments that you would like to make, and remind us of the events of the last round.
So the stories about surrounding the ghost lions have become varied and confused. Many tell the tales of the rabid and vicious ghost lions. Many tell the tales of how vicious and rabid the ghost lions have become since the poisoning of the meat. Yet others say the new meat we have used has instead made them more playful rather than the flitty beings they usually are. We have seen the stories of the tiger of the high sea and his painted over box, as well as revisited the box by the previous companion adorned with the hero's visage. And we have yet unanswered questions about who really poisoned the river and what plots the otters are planning.
Okay. So, Kirk, I just dealt you your companion and theme cards, so pick one of each, and then let me know whether you want a human or a cat face.
Yeah, I'm reading them now. Monster can be really fun in this scenario. All right, I'm going to go with monster.
Okay.
And definitely human face.
All right. So there is your face. All right. So tell us the monster's story about the companion.
So just so I have the detail correct with the laser pointer people, because when you introduced them, some of the stuff was cutting out. What exactly is their identity?
So what I said, because you can suggest that any of this might not be accurate from your point of view, but what I had said was that because we had new technology of like automated laser pointer things and automated cat toy throwing machines and so forth, it had displaced, put out of work the people that used to wield the laser pointers to play with the cats. And so they've now become unemployed laser pointer people, kind of roaming the land, potentially working with the otters to overthrow the badgers.
Great.
So they're unemployed former cat carers, basically.
When I saw the hero for the first time, I hadn't seen a cat for 4 years. The cats used to be a constant presence here. Like, I grew up with them, but all of a sudden, nothing. Like, they had the laser pointers, they had the toys, they had no reason to come see us. But then the hero came, and I didn't even really know who I was at the time. Without interaction with the cats, we were just people. We weren't friends. We were just there. And the hero brought me to the otters, and the hero showed me that now that I wasn't someone that could help people as a person, I could be someone who could help people as an otter. And I made it. I made the change. And when I came back to see my family, they didn't recognize me, but when I spoke to them, they realized that this is what they needed to do. And the hero led all of us to the otters. And now no one feels like we're not a part of something anymore. Now all of us know that we didn't used to be otters, but now we're otters.
Okay. Very nice. So now it's my turn as the witness. Take some previous event and describe how it goes forward. Okay. So we've got this poison in the river, and we've got the river that is starting to overflow its banks. And so I think that the poison in the river is starting to seep into the foundations of the tower where the tiger of the high seas is kept captive. And the foundations of that tower are beginning to crumble. There's like fissures opening up in the stone that the tower rests on because that poison in the river is just so caustic. And then Pearl is our lawyer keeper.
There we go. Ah, yes. These are trying times indeed, and they remind me of a song that we've sung throughout antiquity that I think perhaps was predicting just such a time. I will not sing the whole song, but I would like to draw your attention to the lyrics of just one of the verses. When the river runs foul and all the cats howl, we know the badgers are afoot, afoot. Can't trust the badgers. Can we trust? Oh no, what's the other animal? I forget.
Otters.
Otters.
Can we trust the otters? Cats, cats, band together.
That's great.
That was our rallying battle cry
That's
for many
great.
years.
That's great. Okay.
Wait, so what was the purpose of the song again? What was the background?
It says in the instructions that the lore keeper briefly describes a piece of lore that reflects some of the culture of the realm, including songs, poetry, mural, fables, theater, slangs, myths,
No,
and
I
things.
get it. Like,
So-
so why did they make up the song?
The song, it was like a prophetic song, is what I was saying.
Okay,
that I
cool.
feel like the prophecy of our ancient song is perhaps coming true.
Mm.
And the cats must unite because we don't know whether to trust the badgers or the otters.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
that was unclear. I lost track of the otters and it just kind of went off the rails a little bit, but
That's okay.
That's all right. All right. So we got one more story round here. So Kirk is now our cartographer. So take a look at the map, remind us of what happened in the last round, and make any adjustments, and then let me know when you're good.
Oh, I have to do the recall of last round, right?
Yeah, just remind us briefly the things that happened and adjust the map if you think it needs it.
Okay. What happened last round was we found out that the otters used to be people, and when they were disenfranchised, or some of the otters used to be people, humans, and once they were disenfranchised, they became otters. We learned about was it last round that we learned about the weakening of the prison?
Yes.
Yeah, we learned about the weakening of the prison of the Tiger of the High Seas, meaning he may once again return, and we learned about a prophecy involving the distrust of the other small mammal races
Okay.
via delightful singing, delightful cat song.
Okay. So I am now the companion. So I am going to go with patience as my theme. And I'm going to go with mercenary as my companion companion identity. And I'm going to take a human face. So I am this person here. So, yes, I'm a mercenary. I'm not ashamed of that. I will do just about any job that someone sets for me if they pay well enough. I have no particular qualms about any sort of ethics or laws or proper procedure. If you can show me the coin, then I will happily do whatever it is you need me to do. So I had quite a reputation for ruthlessness, and so I was just kind of doing my own thing. I didn't figure I had any role to play in the great events that were shaping the land, because, you know, if one side paid me to do something, I'd do it, and the other side would pay me to do something, I'd do it. But then I was approached by the hero, and the hero came slinking into my, I like to call it my office, where I would meet with potential clients. And the hero told me that some major changes were afoot, that that we had the opportunity to to eliminate one of the great threats to the land, specifically the ghost lions. That the ghost lions could be tamed and be made into happy cats rather than fearsome threats. But the time wasn't quite right, and if the wrong people found out about what was going on, then it would the whole plan would fall apart. And so the hero needed me to disrupt the Tumbleweed Festival and prevent the cats of the realm from getting into the tumbleweed catnip until the time was right to use that to tame the ghost lions. So we didn't want to use it all up before we had enough to solve the ghost lion problem. And so this was a dirty job, because whoever did this would go down in history as a villain. And the hero asked me whether I was willing to be the villain for a good cause. And I initially said no, because I don't care about a good cause. But then the hero said that they would let me pet their belly for half an hour. And I thought about that. Never gotten to pet a cat belly for that long. And the fur is so soft on the cat's belly. The cats usually guard that jealously. And I realized the hero was offering me not money, not fancy cars and yachts, not a mansion, but offering me the truest form of wealth that the hero had to offer. And so I said yes. I took the deal. I got 15 minutes of belly petting in advance, 15 minutes when I did the deed. And so I disrupted the catnip festival, and I prevented the cats from getting to the tumbleweed catnip on behalf of the hero. And I was labeled a great villain, but I'm here to tell you that it was for a good cause of me getting to pet the cat's belly. So that's my story.
It's a shrewd negotiation.
So then, Pearl, you're our witness. Nudge some other events in the world forward. Pearl, I think you're muted. Oh, connection issues from Pearl. I'm not sure if I'm able to control anyone else's muting. I know the Google thing, you can mute and unmute other people, but I can't.
I got it. Sorry.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
there was a message blocking the button saying I was doing the screen share and I didn't want to turn it off. But I couldn't get to the mute button, so I apologize. Witness.
Yes.
And that is specifically to the story we just heard, right?
No, so that's to something else going on in the world.
Oh,
so
right.
Pick out something
one
else
I
that we've
forgot.
established and try to, kind of move it forward a bit. Tell us a little more about it.
All right. I am a ghost tiger. And I do not appreciate the meddlings of mortals in the affairs of the ghost realm. Or ghost lion, rather. We ghost lions have our own agendas, and you cannot begin to fathom them with your mortal brains. So I suggest you halt all of your investigations immediately, and definitely do not crash our secret meeting at the base of the mountain tomorrow night at 8:17 p.m. For that would be very distressing to everyone involved. Unless you're bringing whatever that is that's been in the river. We would accept some of that with like one guy. But other than that, don't come to our meeting, for we ghost lions are fierce. And we have many things on our agenda. That was my witnessing.
Okay.
Hmm.
And Noella, our lore keeper for this round.
I'm thinking.
Yep.
There is a myth in our lands of how the creatures that live here were created. The human from mud, the badgers from sap, the otters from wood. But what were the cats created from? Those fierce, small creatures, yet soft and delicate in some ways. They were created from the sky and gravity and clouds. They are the most mysterious of all creatures. For how could a living being be created from the sky? And yet it doesn't fly. It runs and swims, but its fur feels like the softest of clouds. So how could you doubt that it came from the softness of the sky? Yet the sky with the harshness of a fall and the warmth of the sun and the chill of the atmosphere. That is how the creatures were created in this world.
All right. Okay, so that was 4 story rounds for this act. So we've got one last thing to wrap up the act, which is the Biographer Phase, which is designed to throw suspicion or praise upon the companions. So each of us will take a turn choosing a companion that's controlled by another player. So you pick someone else's companion and then describe something unfortunate, amusing, or scandalous about the other player's companion. You don't need to agree with that player's interpretation of the companion. Use the third person when telling the story. So basically, start some rumors about somebody else's companion, whether or not they would agree with it. Going in order is not necessary. Go as an idea comes to you. So just go ahead and jump in if you've got an idea of something unfortunate, amusing, or scandalous that you've heard about one of the companions that featured in our round here.
I can go.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you heard the stories of the rusty colored cat, the student of the hero? claims to have been there when the hero faced the otters. Well, you see, my brother knew him, and my brother says he was not there at all. Maybe he met the hero once and loved him so, but they say he drank from the river because his box was there. He lived by the river and drank every day, and you know that river has been poisoned for years, so they say that he began hallucinating in his loneliness of the hero and dreamed of great adventures, but they were not so.
All right, I've got one if anybody else wants to volunteer.
Yeah, go for it.
So we stopped hearing about the mercenary after they tamed the ghost lions, because really, like, once the ghost lions were out of the picture, why keep talking about them? If that mercenary loved belly rubs, and ghost lions, they have even more belly. I think mercenary is taking on new contracts now, and mercenary will play any side that provides the rubs.
So I heard something about our mighty ship captain, the hero's nemesis, the tiger of the high seas, because it seems awfully convenient that the water from the poisoned river is undermining the tower where the captain is kept imprisoned. So what I heard is that the nemesis made a deal with the otters, convinced them to put that poison in the river specifically so that it would undermine the tower and eventually free the nemesis from captivity, and even wash off the paint that covered up the pictures of the tigers on the captain's box so that he could return to his life of piracy on the high seas.
So I conceptualized this wrong, and I actually I made up something about my own character, but from the perspective of one of the other ones. But that's not allowed, right?
You're supposed to be making up something about somebody else's.
Yeah, I am sad. I wrote a whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I have to think of something else. Okay. I wait a second. How do I identify the other? Like, we were all just the companion, right?
Well,
Right. So we
all
each
that's left is
had
monster.
a role. I mean, it doesn't
Right.
have to be like one for one. Like, you could do a second thing about the nemesis or something like that.
I would like to do one about one that's not me or the nemesis.
Yeah.
Can you just
You can do
name
about
one of the
whichever
other ones?
So we've got
Mercenary
I don't
and
know what to
monster.
call them. Okay, the monster. The monster. So, you know, I don't try to eavesdrop. That's rude. But some people just have louder voices than others. And if things carry, I can't really be blamed for that, you know? Especially if they're just going all out. So I want to report, because I don't think this is in fitting with the image that the monster puts forward, that I think it has a soft side. And I think that soft side is for our captain, because I heard the monster singing to itself when it thought no one was looking. And it sang this little song. We all know about the protege and the cat that they call hero, but I'm ashamed to admit that my loyalty is zero. Wanna go down to the tower on some bright and shining hour to see the cat who's fearsome as can be, the tiger of the seas. And there were like 10 verses, I'm telling you. Really into it, and I find it suspicious. monsters, cats. I just find it suspicious.
All right. Okay, so that's Act 1. So I actually want to check in about time because this is officially a 4-hour slot. I know we chewed up a whole lot of time at the beginning with technical problems and getting things started. So does anyone have a time constraint on when they need to be done here? Because I think if we go until 6:10, so 4 full hours, I think at this point, now that we're into it and we've fixed the technical problems, we can probably get through, I think, the full 2 other acts and the epilogue. But I just want to check if anybody has any time constraints, needs to cut out earlier than that, because we could shorten things a little bit.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I have another game in like 3 hours and 45 minutes, so I'm as long
Okay.
as I can get a drink between those two. I also promised not to sing every act, and also that song was way better before I altered it to not make it about my cat singing about the cat.
I think that song was great, and I
Thank
would
you.
not object if you sang every time. Okay, but yeah, so we would play maximum of 2 more hours if we want the full slot. Noella, are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired, so I might jump out early, but I will try to go as long as I can.
Okay. Well, why don't we play one more act and then we'll check in again.
Okay.
Because that's probably the easiest. If we're going to shorten it, the easiest way would be to just drop one of the 3 acts and do 2 acts and done. Okay, so Act 2 is basically the same thing mechanics wise as Act 1. So we begin with the historian phase. So let me draw us a theme card here. So our historian phase theme is debt. Once a substantial debt was overdue, or once collecting a small debt brought something of great price to ruin. So anyone who has an idea for something, some events happening in our world related to the theme of debt, just jump in and tell us about it and add it to our map.
Sorry, I'm resizing my window because it's...
Yeah.
Is there a way to get the sidebar to go away with like the settings and things? So it doesn't take up like half the screen? Do we know?
Sidebar on which screen?
On Roll20. I just
yes.
Oh, I figured it out.
I'm trying to
Huzzah!
remember. Oh,
Now
you
I
got
can
it.
actually see things.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so once a substantial debt was overdue, or once collecting a small debt brought something of great price to ruin. Ooh. I have like the seed of something, but it's not fully formed. So I could throw it out and see if anyone wants to like flesh it out, or I can just sit here and try to figure it out myself. Preferences?
Yeah, throw it out and we'll see if we can help you figure it out.
I like the idea that part of how the Tiger of the Seas ended up in the tower is that something having to do with the small debt bringing something of great price to ruin. But since he is a pirate or whatnot, probably traffics in treasures, and perhaps someone was supposed to collect a small debt, and more treasure was brought along, and a fight ensued, and something priceless got broken, and the authorities came and they dragged off the Tiger of the Seas, much to the horror of everyone involved. Something of that nature, but better than that, which is why I'm throwing it out to you guys.
Okay.
I can do it.
Go for it.
So the Tiger of the Sea once obtained a treasure that happened to include the prized locket of a young woman, because the treasure he had obtained the treasure from a group of land-based thieves in exchange for something, and the young woman asked the hero to retrieve her locket for her. And in pursuit of that locket, the hero ended up apprehending the Tiger of the Seas.
Okay. So I have an idea for some debt because we've got this river that's continuing to rise, and so I'm gonna make our river expand here, and the rising river is flooding all of our best farmland, and so the realm now has to import all of the stuff that we sacrifice to the ghost lions, and we are getting deeper and deeper in debt to try to provide these ghost lion sacrifices. And this is why it's becoming urgent to do something else about the ghost lion situation besides continuing to appease them with sacrifices.
I don't want to just focus on the ghost lions. It's hard having so much debt. Too real.
Amen to that. I'm thinking it doesn't necessarily have to be like a monetary debt, like Urban Shadow style. Maybe it's like someone owes someone a favor, or yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about the transitioned humans.
What?
I was thinking about the transitioned humans, like them possibly
yes.
owing a debt to the native otters.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay. The native otters became fewer and fewer as the human transitioned otters became the dominant otter faction, and the native otters would always ask them for a tithe, as it was their home that they were extending to the humans, and they were very fair about the tithe. But the new otters, now the dominant force, thought that they'd been paying the tithe for much too long, and decided that since they had the democratic votes for such things, they were no longer going to tithe to the otters, and all otters would be considered equal in their society. So because of the constant paying of the small debt, now there's no longer a distinguishing factor between human otter and native otter.
Okay.
The plot thickens.
Okay, so is that everyone? I think Pearl and Nola did kind of a cooperative one.
Yeah.
I don't know if one
Okay.
of you had
Yeah, that's fine.
something else you wanted to throw in. Okay. Okay.
We also draw
so
for what
now,
we said? Yeah, we draw for what we
What's
said,
that?
right?
Yeah, you draw your own thing on the map in
Cool.
the historian phase.
Oh.
Okay.
Crap. Okay.
What is that?
It's supposed to be a symbol of unity.
Okay, that's kind of awesome. Okay, so now we go into some story rounds. So just like before, so again, going the order we are here on Roll20. I am the first cartographer again. So from the historian phase, we've got So the rising river putting the realm in debt for the Ghost Lion sacrifice. We've got the laser pointer humans that were transformed into otters ceasing to pay tithes to the original otters. And we've got the locket that the hero was trying to recover from the Tiger of the High Seas that led to his ultimate captivity in the tower. So all that looks pretty good on our map here. So we can go to Pearl for the first companion. So let me give you 2 new theme cards and 1 more companion card to replace the one that you used last time. So pick a theme and a companion card, and then let me know if you want a human or a cat face for your new companion.
Okay. Sorry, I had a moment with my debt sign there, but I think I handled it. Okay. Get to the cards. So now they're all spread out a bit. Which ones are mine right now?
So you should have them in your hand there.
Okay.
Yeah. So pick one of the themes and one of the companion prompts.
Okay.
We should get rid of our cards from last round, right? That's what I just kind of put them down.
So theme cards, we should
retain.
Get rid of theme cards, but keep your face and the corresponding companion card. So that's a companion, that's a character that
I mean the unused ones that you dealt out.
Oh, the unused ones. I think for the unused theme cards, discard those as well. But unused companion cards, I think you keep.
Oh, do we? Okay, I'll take one back.
And because you've got
back?
a set of.
I'm just not touching them for the record. So if something needs to be discarded, someone please discard it for me. Roll20 and I we do not understand each other.
Yeah. Oh wait. Okay.
Yeah, I took my companion cards and put the 3 that I didn't pick last round in a little pile to the right, away from everybody's pictures.
Yeah. So keep your unused companion cards, and you'll get an additional one, so that you'll still have 4 to pick from. But 3 of them are ones that you've seen before.
Okay.
Okay. So which am I?
Yeah, so you're the companion.
The companion. Okay, so I'm going to pick the theme, love. So the theme for this round, I guess, is either once the rules of marriage had changed, or once a forbidden love was revealed.
Okay.
And I'm going to be. Let me look at my little companion cards. Sorry, I just have to look at what all of them are. I think I'm going to be the mentor this time.
Okay. Like a human or a cat face?
I think a cat, probably, for a mentor for our hero here.
All right, so there you are.
I have to zoom out to find myself. Give me a direction to go on the screen, because am I the one-eyed cat?
The one-eyed cat, yeah.
That makes sense. You know.
Yeah, that's very, very mentor.
An old-timey. I've seen some things. Seen some things you wouldn't want to hear about. All right. The hero. Known him since he was just a kitten. I always knew there was something special about that one. You know, taught a lot of great cats in my time. But the hero, he was the real deal. And a few years ago, I think I howled my last howl. My cat fighting days are over, as you can see. I lost one of my eyes, and I just think that he's carrying the torch on. He's carrying the torch on, and he's doing a great job. Although I'm concerned because we elder cats, we keep an eye on things around here, and I've heard say that the monster that we really need to be fighting against before everything goes crazy is planning on revealing some love for the hero. And we all know that if you tap on the hero's butt just the right way, he can't resist it. It's like his kryptonite. And humans are uniquely enabled with those hands of theirs to just, they get you right there. And before you know it, your tail's in the air and you're sort of stalking around weirdly like you're drunk, and they just get you. And as strong as our hero is, I don't know that even he can resist the lure of the butt smacking. So I'm gonna be holding a vigil here tonight. If any other cats who've been around and seen the things I have want to sit with me, and we're all going to say the great cat prayer that our hero can stay strong, because he's gonna need it.
So that's our companions, and then Noella, our witness for this round.
Fun picture.
Yeah, our map's getting a little crowded. It's okay.
Did you know that there are people who can commune and talk to the ghost lions? A ghost lion medium? Of course, people who commune and talk with human and cat spirits. Well, it's not quite normal per se, but you do find them. But almost no one talks about ghost lions as things you may actually speak to. But I have known a woman who can speak to the ghost lions just as well as a human spirit. And I wonder if there is more to the ghost lions than simple hunger or instinct. I feel like there is something more.
Okay. And Kirk, our lore keeper.
So according to our traditions, we leave the sacrifices out for the ghost lions, and ghost lions do genuinely appreciate that, but ultimately they're just ghosts and they don't really eat the sacrifices. Typically, what the understanding is that the sacrifices left for the ghost lions were actually being eaten by the disenfranchised of our communities. There was a means of supporting the population that couldn't really support itself anymore. And during this period, I'd say this was mostly the badgers. The badgers had fallen from their once prestigious place that the otters now held. They didn't really have the culture to fall back on to give them the unity that the cats did. So ultimately, a lot of the badgers did take to becoming these grave scroungers. But everyone knew that this was like a safety net. This is some place that people could go for a meal, or badgers for that matter, could go for a meal if they didn't have any other options. And the Badgers felt like they were laid low for having to do this, but they appreciated that this was here, and they had a newfound appreciation of the cat culture as something that supported them.
Okay. So our cartographer role then passes on to Pearl.
Oh,
So
good. This is what I'm best at.
review what's happened, adjust the map as necessary, and let me know when you're good with it.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Noelle's our cartographer, right?
No, you're a cartographer.
I'm our cartographer.
Yep. So
But
you can review
did
what
you
happened.
give lore?
No, I was cartographer last time.
I was the lorekeeper last time.
Okay. I've forgotten one of the 3 stories I'm supposed to be remembering is what's happening. There's the social justice angle.
Right. That was
with the Badgers.
The
Very
lore.
big.
There was the woman that could speak to the ghost.
The medium.
Lions. And then there was your companion's story about the hero getting
The mentor.
their butt scratched.
Oh. Haha. Okay. Got it. I mixed up what round things were set in. Sorry about that. Yes. So yeah. Things in this last round have been a little bit perilous sounding. Our hero may be in the throes of the dreaded butt smacking that renders most of the cat kind completely defenseless. But at the same time, it sounds like maybe some good connections have been made with the Badgers, and maybe peace between the 2 species and some newfound trust and understanding is afoot. The medium angle, I appreciate what they do, but I can't claim to understand it. The ghost lions are mysterious and scary, and I'm afraid to even comment on it. I don't want to attract their attention. But apparently there's some people out there who can speak to them. And I'll let you know if we hear more of them by putting more stick figures on the map. Is that a good wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Noella is our companion. So I gave you some additional cards to choose from there. So let me know if you want a human face or a cat face for your companion.
I'm gonna do the oracle for my companion, and then the theme. And I am putting a theme, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do tragedy.
Okay. So are you a human oracle or a cat oracle?
Be a human oracle.
Okay. So there you are.
I traveled with the hero for a short portion of my life. I wanted to escape the fate that I had been given. I I had found a horrible gift. I discovered it one summer when summer was turning to fall, when we left the sacrifices for the ghost lions, and I lingered too long, and they came, and I could understand them. I could speak to them, but I was afraid. I could hear their voices at night, howling, mewling in the distance. I could understand them. I do not wish to repeat those things that they said to me, to the world. So I left that place I had called my home for so long, and I encountered the hero and traveled with that cat. And yet, I still heard the voices in the distance. At night, they were softer than before, but I could still hear them, and I heard of what they told what would come. You see, this was when the hero was young and a little foolish. And you know, foolish people have love and family and don't always realize the danger that lies around them. I tried to warn them of what would happen to the hero's mate. I did. I heard the voices at night, hearing their hunger, hearing them smell the cat, slow and fat. The ghost lions got her. I had tried to warn them, but I had no concrete proof. Nobody could talk to ghost lions before. Maybe I was just hallucinating, but then the hero was off on a mission, and I was there, but they got her, and then they turned to me and they left me be. Why? Because they knew I could hear them. But I was faced with shame. I had not saved the hero's mate, so I left. I left him there, but I told him what happened, but left with haste because I could not bear to be around him any longer.
Okay. And Kirk, our witness.
All right. So I'm an old otter, and I'm not that long for this world, and I've got something to get off my chest. About 10 years back, when I was just a pup, I was all the way upstream by the mountain, and I was smashing open a clam with a stone on my belly, as was my wont. And it was a very quiet day, and every time that I smacked the clam, an echo roared across the mountain. And just as I got it open with my final blow, the echo caused a landslide down the mountain, and it pushed all of the catnip plants and all of the wormwood plants that were growing on the mountainside all toward the river. And I think that's what actually caused the river being poisoned, as some people say. I think it was really my fault from when I was little, and I was so ashamed for so long, and I just couldn't tell anyone. But we shouldn't point fingers at each other. This was all my fault.
Okay. And then I am the lore keeper. So let's see. So I think that that in the realm there is a special bond between people and cats, more so than any other pair of species. And people will carry these lockets, like the one that the hero was trying to retrieve from the Tiger of the Seas. And they will put a picture of their closest cat companion in that locket. And it's a way of maintaining that human cat tie. And they will sometimes kind of make notes on the picture of the cat in there. So if they get they get the opportunity to pet the cat's belly or even to scratch its butt, they will make a special note of that in the locket to commemorate that event. There are many stories about exactly what was in that locket that the hero was trying to recover from the captain, and what it might reveal about that cat's proclivities. Okay, so then our cartographer.
I need like 1 second to put. I have
yeah.
all my things ready to put on the map. It just took me a minute to get them.
I'll give you a second to do that, and then the cartographer role will pass to Noella.
Yes, but everyone talk about cats in the meantime, or something else, so that I don't feel dumb. Okay.
I'll just practice our meows. Meow, meow.
I'm just going to take 2 minutes to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Meow, 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 meow,
What
meow.
are they feeding
It's like the
you?
debate in Mayor Cat. Meow, 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 meow.
Uh-huh.
It's not your fault. Okay. Is our oracle? Alright. We'll put him over here somewhere. Nope. Man, I sure am bad with these things. Here's our oracle. And he hears or they, the ghosts. Which I can do this. I've got this. Keep meowing, everybody. Always helping me stay calm.
Meow, meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Excellent.
Meow,
Extremely helpful.
meow, meow.
Make sure people can see those are cats. Ghost cats. And then our poor hero was just a kitten. Which I can't seem to resize anything. Oh, there we go. He was just a kitten when the whole thing went down with the scariness and the oracle. Actually, here we go. He was hanging out with the oracle, but then the oracle, correct me if I'm wrong, although I know I'm allowed to have a different opinion, but I was furiously looking things up on the internet, so ran away without him, right?
Well, what I had said that the oracle told him what happened and then left.
Yes. So I really want this to be facing the other way. I have a little running image. Well, pretend it's going the other way than it is. How's that? Pretend it's running away from the cat instead of towards him, because otherwise I will take half the game trying to figure this out. Okay. Here comes our running oracle. Nobody has ever taken as many notes or looked up as many pictures during storytelling. So running oracle who hears ghostly messages tells baby cat who is innocent and then runs away. And then we have the clams that may be the source of all of our river problems. Or at least you can probably see everything I'm doing because I'm sharing my screen, which is funny. Clams! Just going to put them right there on the river. And last but not least, a locket. Actually, there were like a couple more, but whatever. Can someone remind me of the locket, where it should go on the map? I know it's my interpretation, but I got frazzled. The locket with the picture of the cat that you could.
Yeah, it could really go anywhere. Maybe with some of the humans.
Is that a good plot? The humans' hearts. Cat with butt scrub.
That's good for me.
And then we can pass the torch. I was going to add 2 little other things, but they're just for flavor to go with what was said, so they're not as important.
Okay.
But I believe it was as summer moves into autumn. So.
Okay. So Noella is our new cartographer, so you can review what has happened and make any changes you'd like to make to the map.
I will be out of your way in a moment as soon as I can resize this. Just really driving me bananas. It was summer, but then it was fall.
Oh, real cats.
Is that a real cat sound? That's awesome.
My cat just hopped up here to say hi. Hello, Mr. Mox.
Can I just take a moment to congratulate myself on having gotten summer going into fall, ghost cats, the oracle, the running, the baby cat, the clams, and the locket. I know there's already a locket, but still. That was my best effort that I could have put in for this.
So in the last round, we had the story of the oracle who kind of foretold the death of the hero's mate, but they didn't believe her, and when it occurred, she told the hero and then left ashamed and scared. And then we heard the story of an otter who believes that he caused the poisoning in the river because he was on the side of the mountain and banging the clams, and then all of the catnip and plants fell into the river. And then remind me what the locket was?
It's just a tradition that humans who have a special bond with a cat carry around a locket with a picture of that cat in it, and sometimes make notes about special levels of intimacy they've achieved, like getting to pet the cat's belly.
Yes. So now Kirk is the companion.
Yes. I need some cards.
Yes. I can give you...
I just need 1 companion card, though, because I put my 3 away by accident. I didn't know I was supposed to keep them.
Oh, hang on. So... Okay, so we are out of cards. I think I've been doing something about the companion cards wrong. I think we might actually be supposed to have a shared pool of those cards that we're picking from rather than individual hands.
You're supposed to keep a couple out, right? Have you played before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't remember that aspect of it, and trying to translate things to Roll20 gets confused.
You did a really good job. Other than that, this is really complicated. I wasn't sure we could play this game in online sessions.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and recall all of the companion cards, and so that includes the ones in people's hands. And so what we're gonna do then is we're gonna put 4 of them out here. Okay, so the oracle was already used. Protege was already used. Okay. Nemesis was already used. And these are kind of covering up some things here. But, Monster was already used.
Bard.
Bard?
Okay, so there's 4 that we haven't seen yet. So those are for everyone to pick from when they get a. I know there's only going to be a couple more new companions because in the third, if we're playing the third act, we reuse companions we've already done. But okay, so there's your 4 of those to choose from. But then you do get your own theme cards. So, okay, so now you've got 2 theme cards in your hand to pick from, and then those 4 companion cards that are out on the table.
Okay, I'm going to go with Guidance and Outsider. And give me a person.
Okay. So there is your person.
Cool. Oh, that's more appropriate than I wanted. Okay. It was a really cold winter, and my wife was out trying to get me medicine. But in lieu of medicine, she gave me a companion, if you would, and it was the most adorable little kitten. It was shaggy and warm and kept me company all through the nights that my wife was gone. But my wife was gone for a really long time, and the snows were getting taller. And our cabin was way up in the woods on a distant mountain, further away from any town than any other cabin. And I've been sick for some time. And I didn't want to trap the kitten in with me. I wanted to give the kitten the best chance that it could have. So I took some doll's clothes that I had, and I dressed the kitten up as warmly as I could, and I gave it some jerky, and it sat with me, and I told it to leave, and it sat with me, and I opened the door, and the bitter cold came in, and it sat with me. And just as I started to close my eyes for the last time, I saw the kitten get up and walk to the door, and I think it understood that it had to go on a quest. It did its job with me, and it helped take me to the next world, and it needed to help other people.
Okay.
Wow, man. It's like really groovy.
Okay, so then I am the witness. Okay, so I was going down to investigate this whole poisoned river kind of situation because that's still an issue. And I had heard there's a story that the flooding of the river was due to the avalanche that was triggered by the breaking of the clamshells by one of our otters, and so I was going to check that out too. And there certainly was a lot of stone blocking the flow of the river, but it seemed to me that this was not natural stone from a natural avalanche. These all looked like stones that had been used to build something, perhaps a tower. It was a pretty suspiciously square stones that I could find, but there's nothing there to tell exactly what they had been before. And I'm not a good puzzle person. I couldn't piece them back together. but there definitely seemed to be more going on than just a natural avalanche that blocked this river. And then Pearl, you are our lore keeper.
Indeed. Well, I'm sure you've all heard tell the story of King Arthur, also known by some as the once and future king. And it was foretold that one day, when England needed him again, he would return. And I'm wondering if here in our fair land there might be such a thing. Because we have a hero. And the fact that we all just call him Hero makes him seem very mysterious. And I can't help but wonder, is he not our own King Arthur? Is this not our time of need? Only time will tell. I think that's all the lore that needs to be presented.
Okay. So then our cartographer job passes on to Kirk, unless Noah, was there anything more that you needed to add before we pass rolls?
Yeah, I just need to add one more thing.
Okay, go ahead and do that, and then let Kirk know that he can take over.
I feel like the online cartographer role is really difficult to do quickly. You know,
Yeah,
It's a lot easier to do in real life.
like a whiteboard with a marker is just really different. I don't know how it's done in real life because I haven't played this game, which I'm going to be rectifying because it's awesome. But
Let's just get a
having
big piece
only
of paper.
played the online version, I feel like, yeah, I was clicking with all the speed I had, and still was nowhere near close enough.
So time for history.
No, we've got one more
Well, not
story
history, I'm
round.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as Noella is done adding whatever else they had there, then you'll take over as cartographer.
Mhm.
So, Noella, are you good?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so now you can review what happened.
Previously on last round, we learned an origin story for the hero as the kitten that comforted the old woman in her final hours. We learned that the rubble that fell into the river, expanding it, was perhaps not natural rubble, as it was clearly cut stone. And we learned that the hero may be a hero of prophecy and not just your friendly everyday cat hero.
Okay.
I like that you incorporated
So,
the cut stone and the Arthurian legend into one image there. That was pretty good.
The cat in the cloud is pretty high up there on my
yeah,
list.
I
So,
like that one.
I mean, this is a great image board that I will probably just print out and put on my wall because why not? But yeah, the cat in the cloud, the diagrammed cat, the tiger of the seas in his bathtub in his tower.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a delightful. We make a good team, guys.
Okay. So I'm picking the theme of urgency, and my companion is the spy. You traveled with the hero, but you are not quite. But you appear, and I'm going to be a cat for this one. Oh, poor kitty getting a bath. Um, so, yes, I had to take a bath in order to fulfill my role, because otherwise I would, cats have a sensitive sense of smell. They can tell who you've been around, who you've been talking to, who you've been working for, by smelling them on you, unless you take a bath. Scrub that all off of you. So I made the ultimate sacrifice to take a bath so that I could infiltrate. I could win over the hero's confidence without betraying my real agenda. And it took a long time. It was hard work. Had to do a lot of things that worked against my employers in the short run, in order to gain the hero's confidence, so that I could accompany them on their most secret mission. So the hero and I went up into the high mountains in order to talk to the leader of the Ghost Lion. It was an urgent mission because the Ghost Lions were becoming restless. They were receiving fewer sacrifices because all of the fields were flooded. The neighboring realms were starting to complain that we weren't paying our debts when they gave us food to give to the Ghost Lions. And the Ghost Lions warned us that they were going to rampage, that they were going to destroy everything, that they were going to tear up all of our boxes if we didn't rectify this situation within 3 days. They gave us a deadline of 3 days. And the hero didn't want to tell anyone else. The hero didn't want to cause a panic in the land. But I knew that couldn't leave this to just the hero. We couldn't let the hero be the one to save us from the Ghost Lions. And so I went and I told the otters what I had found out, so that they could make their own move to save the land from the Ghost Lion rampage and show up the hero. Okay, so then Pearl, you're our witness.
Okay. Study our map for a second. I want to think of something really good. Man, I'm suddenly drawing a big blank. Oh no. Oh no, I've got it. Hi, I'm Lenny, down at the pawn shop. I cannot tell you how many people have been coming in for lockets lately. And they want them to look all fancy, like they're expensive, and they say they're going to put pictures of their cats in them or whatever. And I've been selling them the cheapest crap. I mean, if there's anything magical about a locket, it's not one of the lockets from my establishment, I'll tell you. The things you hear around this town. Saying things, writing special moments to the cats. Who has the time? So, I don't know. I've had some come in with these pictures of their cats, and they're so reverent about it that they, hand me the picture and want me to install it. I don't even bother. I just close it and give it back to them. They never know. They never know. So now I've got a nice collection of cat pictures for my desk. And, maybe I pet the pictures from time to time. What of it?
Okay.
Out of
Yeah.
character. I like the idea that like petting the picture of the cat maybe has some effect that we don't know about, but it's the wrong person petting them now.
Oh no. All right, and Noella, our last lore keeper here.
Mute myself, sorry.
Before the river became contaminated, people used to make a special soap that included the ingredients from the river, and this special soap was specifically for cat baths. And although cats despise baths in general, it was said that to wash with this soap would make the fur softer and more enjoyable for cats to walk, and it just made the cats feel good. But it has been a long, long time since that soap has been around.
Okay. So we'll give Kirk a moment if there's anything else you're gonna need to add on to our picture here.
Almost done.
I love that.
There.
That's great. So
I'll put it next to the spy, since the spy had to take a bath.
yeah. Okay.
We were
All right,
quickly running out of real estate.
yeah. All right, so we got the biographer phase. So each of us, in whatever order we think of something, should say something unfortunate, amusing, or scandalous about a companion controlled by one of the other players.
I'll go.
All right.
Have you heard about that cat who claims to have spied on the ghost lions? Well, he claims that he was successful because he took a bath and was able to kind of go in and not be like detected and they were unable to tell his loyalties. But I heard that cat is actually half mountain lion, which, you know, the ghost lions are the souls of come from the wild mountain lions. The live ones really no longer exist, although their lineage exists in a few lines of cats, and I believe that cat was one of them, and not a real cat.
I've got one almost there, but if someone else wants to go first.
Oh, I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you seen what the protege has been painting on their box? They've been patching up the holes in it, and I think it's a Jolly Roger they have on their box. I think the protege isn't feeling good about being left behind, and they've got other adventures planned.
I can do one. Or go ahead.
Okay, so I've heard some things about the outsider who raised our hero as a small kitten, because the outsider likes to tell it like it was this, it was such a good caretaker of the hero, but the hero never let the outsider pet his belly. And I think that's indicative of how he feels about his upbringing. And that's, I think, part of why the hero had to go off on a quest. You know, we get all this stuff about, oh, there's like a prophecy and, you know, the realm needs to be saved. I think it was partly just because the hero wanted to find someone who deserved to get the belly cuts.
I am a man who lives in town, a human man. I've heard tell the stories about that medium. And I'm telling you, it's some sorcery, some black magic, talking to ghosts. I wouldn't be surprised if that medium weren't what's behind all the strange happenings here. The river, the tiger up in the tower, ghost lions. That to me sounds like black magic. And I'm going to be getting out of town real fast before they can use it on me.
Okay. So we've got a hair under an hour left. Everybody good to keep going for one more act?
Yeah.
I'm actually really tired, so I think I'm gonna go. I mean, you guys should feel free to keep playing, but I need a break.
I'm okay with epiloguing now too, if you're okay with doing that.
Yeah, I'm good either way. So if you're tired and need to cut out, I'm cool to jump to the epilogue. Now, Pearl, how do you feel?
I am happy to leave it in everyone's hands. I want Noella to take good care of themselves. I'm also really enjoying playing the game, so I'm whatever everyone thinks is the best thing to do. I will continue to make silly voices and think about cats.
I mean, my vote is if Noella wants to bow out, that we should jump to the epilogue, just so that we're not going on one person short.
Yeah, we've got most of the map covered too.
We're running out of room on the map to add things too. So
I was actually just thinking, like, my next cartographer phase was going to be terrifying.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we just go to the epilogues then? So it's fairly brief. In the epilogue, we have a chance to say goodbye to the companions and their tale. Each player takes turns going in any order, starting with volunteer. Choose one of your companions, describe the last time that they parted from the hero, and mark it on the map. Players may tell an epilogue for one or both companions. So if you have an idea about the last time that your companion saw the hero, you can just narrate that briefly. And once everyone has done at least one of those, then that wraps us up.
I can go.
Sure.
So my epilogue will be about the Oracle. And I think she does see the hero again years later. After a conflict with the Ghost Lions, and they sort of randomly run into each other, and the Oracle tells the hero that she's sorry, but the hero says, "I should have believed you." And then they part ways and never meet again.
No.
Yeah, so I have an epilogue that incorporates both of my companions. So I'll tell it from the point of view of the mercenary. The mercenary became a pretty loyal supporter of the hero, getting paid in belly rubs. And one day was out, just checking around, making sure there were no threats to be had, and came upon the spy slinking back to the hero after having had another clandestine meeting with the otters to pass on information, and had then gone for a bath to wash the otter smell off of him.
Mhm.
And so the spy is slinking along, and the mercenary grabs him and demands to know what he's doing. And the spy tries to make a deal, and the spy says that if you'll let me go, I'll let you pet my belly.
Oh.
But the mercenary looked the spy over. The spy is still a little damp from the bath. It's just not going to be as good of a belly rub experience. And so the mercenary says no and tosses the spy in the cat carrier and brings the spy to the hero for final judgment.
It's a bold move.
And at the end, the hero rolls over and says, "You may pet my belly one more time, so you have done well."
All right, I've got one. The Oracle wakes up in a hospital room 2 years later, and the Oracle's wife is there with her, and her wife is just amazed that she survived for so long, and she asks her what happened to her cat, and the Oracle says, "Well, I knew something was wrong. I had to let the cat go. I couldn't take care of it." And the Oracle's wife thought this was going to happen, and she was a little sad, but she was just so happy that her wife was alive, and she ran out of the room to get the doctor to tell them in case there was something the doctor needed to do. And when the Oracle rolled over in bed to see the coffee and the Danish and the paper that her wife had, on the cover of the paper there was a picture that said "Colony of Cats Found in Mountain," and she saw her kitten. She recognized it.
Awesome. We're just gonna have a little one for my original protege, poor terrified thing. And you see him, and he's just been sitting in his box for a long time. He fits, he sits, and the hero hasn't been back in a while, and he's looking across that river at the tower. And you can just see a bit of tail through the window. And as we sort of pan out away from him, you just hear a really faint, "The tiger of the sea," and like a single tear. And that's the protege.
All right. Okay, awesome. Thank you all for playing. This was great.
Thanks for hosting it.
I'm keeping this map in my Google folders so I can look at this again because it's just so much good stuff on here. So I think that wraps
I'm 100% printing it out.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps our game. I feel like I have a little better understanding of how to use this new system for broadcasting now. So it should go smoother next time. So this is a one shot. So I will hopefully see all of you around in another game sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
please, if you're inclined, of course. But I love one shots that are just like really specific encounters like this, rather than people making one shots out of games that could be campaigns, but just like. Something like this, where you just have an experience with people for a night, and if you host any of them, please ping me because I would love to be in them.
Absolutely. I'm trying to do this as kind of a series of cat-themed one-shots.
That's awesome.
Like this, and I did For the Queen, and I'm going to try to do a bunch of cat-themed things here. So.
Oh, I heard somebody did
right.
For the Queen cat-themed one. Did
What's
you modify
that?
the cards at all? Did you modify the question cards,
Nope.
or did you just have cat pictures? This is great.
All I did, as I said, every time it says the Queen, replace it with the cat when you
Mhm.
read the card.
That's amazing.
And I grabbed a picture of a cat instead of one of the queen cards, and that was literally all I changed. So
Oh, it sounds great.
it's on my channel, and it's in the Gauntlet's archive of videos somewhere if you dig back to it. So
Okay.
Awesome.
all right, well, we'll go ahead and close the meeting and the stream, and have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Yeah, everybody,
You
you
too.
too. Bye.
Thanks so much,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Why is it doing that? Why? For the life of me, I can't figure out how to get it to print the whole image so that the pawn shop sign shows at the top, period. I feel like I should just be able to put a zoom amount or something, comma, but it's not working either. But it's not working either in the